everyone. Thanks for joining us for Angus Australia's 2023 Spring Bull Night. This year we are delighted to be joined by ABS, Alta Genetics, Agri-Gene, Breeder Genetics, Semex and Worldwide Size, who will be showcasing a number of industry-proven bulls and some new up-and-coming sires from across the US, Australia and New Zealand. The order of tonight's program will be as follows. All of the companies who will be showcasing their sires tonight have their semen catalogues listed online with the Angus Australia website. These can be searched using an Angus Tech database search or Semen Select. To speak with the semen providers directly, their contact details will be listed on screen during their segment, or these are available in the contact section of their online catalogue. There will be a quick 2-minute survey in the link below. If you could please complete this, it would help us determine how we can add more value to your business through the events we run at Angus Australia. Sit back, relax and enjoy the 2023 Spring Bull Night.
G'day everyone, Cameron Cutler here from Semex Australia. What an exciting 12 months of speed for Semex. We had some great bull sales in the autumn and we just watched the last of the Getty start to roll through. Probably one of the first real bulls I had the joy of marketing with Semex. But as he passes through, we come into a new generation of bulls. Mogul, Tanker and Vizina with elevation in the wing as well. It's a great time for us to show you these bulls and give you an update. The next 12 months we'll start to see these calves hit the ground and with a few years time we'll see these sons hit the sales. So sit back, relax and enjoy what we've got to offer tonight. So the first bull tonight will be Pineview Mogul. A bull that created a lot of anticipation and excitement when he arrived in the middle of last year. He was quickly used down here in the south at the tail end of the joining season, but he hasn't disappointed. Comments coming from breeders is that he is an easy bull to use. The data set and the phenotype just make him easy to mix through a lot of the existing bloodlines in use at the minute. The other reports that we've had back is that he's breeding true to type. The calves that have hit the ground have been thick set, well made, well balanced, calves with a lot of style to them, which just to me indicates that we're going to see a lot of bulls from Mogul hit the sales in a few years time. And the females coming through are probably going to give breeders really good flexibility when they come looking for joining options when these heifers reach joining age. The other report we've had out of North America is that the data here, which puts him at the top of the tree, is accurate against what they're actually seeing on the bull. So really good footed bull, plenty of EMA, top 1% for EMA, calving ease. He has seen heifers and been fine out of heifers. But again, a bull that goes heifers or cows, which is really good. G'day everyone, we're at Granite Ridge to talk about the Mogul calves with Scott Finlay. So Scott, how did you come to use Mogul in your herd last year? You were one of the first, you probably were the first. How did you go?
Yeah, not bad at all. We use Mogul on our heifers in our first mob to come through. We then put him on our older cows after that. We chose Mogul because it's structurally sound, lower birth weight without being ridiculously low. He's still got some good growth data on him, so he's still going to get a bit of punch, and phenotypically look the part.
Yep, so you used him on a cross section of cows, sort of older cows you said, on the heifers. Was there particular sort of bloodlines you looked at or just whatever he suited the best?
Yeah, look, we did put him over a couple of different bloodlines in particular. The heifers was out of 519s and some paratroopers. Then our cow herd, it was simply to use him to actually correct a bit of birth weight without losing any growth.
Yeah. So going forward, like you're going to use him again, you said, like into some mature cows, same sort of thing.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. His EBVs seem to complement most of our cow herd here. They it still gives I suppose what we're lacking in a few areas.
Yeah.
We've got some pretty punchy cows, but the birth weight from Mogul seems to look and do a bit of correction for us.
Yeah. We've just had a walk through those calves. Early days, like you did the late last year to use him. It arrived late. Quiet. They look quiet. They look like he's delivered on what we'd hoped.
That's right. The calves are still pretty stylish. They're very docile. You can just walk around, pat them in the pen. They're not spooky whatsoever. the style of them, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. Sale later in the spring, first spring sale for you guys.
Yes, yep.
What are we looking at date-wise there?
Sale itself is here at Reedy Creek in South Australia, 31st of August. We've got 2 open days, one here on farm on Monday the 21st, and the second one is on the 25th at the Grange Complex in Hamilton.
Oh, very good. So hopefully you get a few people around there. The bulls look good for that. And hopefully in a few years' time some moguls in sale.
Won't be long, we'll see you.
Very good. Thanks, Scott.
Cheers, Cam. Thanks, mate.
Up next, Pineview Vizina, another quality bull out of the Pineview program. We're fortunate enough to get him here early in the year, which meant he had very strong use throughout the autumn here in the southern states. Whether that was in a commercial heifer program that was going on, or a multitude of different stud operations, we're looking forward to seeing where he leaves us in 12 months' time. With a pedigree that includes Goldkeeper and a Musgrave Royal Queen cow, we have no doubt that he's going to make an impact going forward. The other thing that Vizina brings to the table is a balanced data set. Low to moderate birth weight with really good growth, top of the tree carcass, EMA and foot scores to match. I think it would have only been a few hours after LVVF tanker sold in the early part of last year that our phones rang red hot demanding that we bring this bull in, to which we naturally said yes. The appeal that this bull brings is unsurpassed. Phenotypically stand out, good footed bull, well made bull with a lot of mass, style and class. Tanker is backed by 2 generations of Pathfinder dams and a data set that just talks quality. Moderate birth weight with a really good spread to 600 day, carcass weight, EMA and foot score data all at the pointy end of the tree. Tanker provides a great opportunity to add phenotype and back it up with some performance, really drive your program going forward. Montana Elevation. A bull that I've really liked over the last few years for his ability to breed consistently. Bulls have made sales and sold well, and the females have come through now, they've calved down and they're really looking the goods. We'll see another big wedge of elevations sell in the north this year, and the early talk in the field is that they're going to be well received again. Some have already sold and top sales in this bull selling season. Elevation's been used in a wide variety of commercial and stud programs, a lot of different bloodlines, predominantly cows, has seen some heifer action, but predominantly cows, and breeders overall have just been really happy with the consistency and quality that he is bringing to the table. And when it comes to breeding cattle, we all know that consistency is the key. Here at XL Beef Angus, talk about Montana Elevation progeny with David Steinbeck. David, had a walk through all the bulls, looking really good for your sale.
Yeah, Cameron, they've come along nicely, mate. And I suspect August 30 here, mate, they'll look pretty good.
To go, but came here specifically for the Montana Elevation. How did you come to use him and have an impact in this herd?
Oh, mate, Dad found him about probably 3 years ago on a tour of America, and we sort of brought him back and thought that he'd suit our program and what we're trying to do here, Cameron, and the bulls that we're trying to produce at yielding age. And yeah, he's been used very successfully over the last 3 years.
So what traits has he brought to the table? Like you've just said that he's made a difference. How have you found his progeny? What were you chasing? What did he bring to the table?
Oh well, mate, he also he brings a moderate birth, good growth, great set of numbers. Also adds a lot of softness and thickness to his cattle. We're just starting to calve down some 2-year-old daughters for him now, and they're really looking the goods, mate, like what we're trying to produce here.
Yeah, that's what we're hearing around the traps, which is good. And those daughters give a lot of flexibility when it comes to mating with them later on.
Yeah, well they are, mate. They're sort of built in a moderate frame. They're very soft, plenty of volume, nice thick cattle, and suited to this country here, you know what I mean? So, and then going forward, there's a lot of goods that can be used in here.
Yeah. So sale, when are we looking? End of August?
Yep, 30th, mate, 30th of August, here on property at Gowan Bray Dungowan, and yeah, offering some 38 bulls and 11 females.
Yeah, and steak sandwich.
Yeah, mate. Beef steak sandwich and a coffee.
Very good. Thanks, mate.
No worries, buddy. Thanks for coming.
Thanks everyone for taking the time to watch our bull night video. I'd like to thank Scott Finlay and Jeff Steinbeck for taking the time to show us their cattle. Like I said previously, it's an exciting time for Semex. We're enjoying working with clients, commercial and stud alike. And the new generation of bulls we've got coming through, it creates a lot of excitement, not just for us, but for our clients as well. We'll have details running along the bottom of the screen here. And don't be afraid to contact myself or any of the Semex reps in your area. We look forward to hearing from you.
Hey everyone, it's Hannah Powell here, the New South Wales Genomics Territory Manager for Agri-Gene Australasia. Agri-Gene is the longest standing and largest dedicated livestock genomic testing company here in Australia, and we are thrilled to work with the Angus breed and cattle producers to help them achieve their breeding goals. Here are some things you might not know about Agri-Gene. In September 2022, Agri-Gene officially opened its state-of-the-art DNA lab up at Bundamba, just out of Ipswich in Queensland, and US cattle producers have the option to come through the facility, tour the lab and see how your DNA samples are processed. It's also the only option for Angus Australia members who want to keep their DNA testing here in the Australasia region. Agri-Gene is a dedicated, long-standing partner of the Angus sire benchmarking program, with all progeny of the ASBP analysed through Agri-Gene's DNA. We also offer Angus GS by Angus Australia, the highest density breed-specific genomic product on the market, built for Angus by Angus. We also offer Angus Heifer Select, which is a product for commercial Angus breeders. Angus samples are processed through a dedicated pipeline which allows for quick turnaround times, and all samples are recapped and sent back to Angus Australia for storage and future testing. If you're interested in working with Agri-Gene, feel free to give us a call.
G'day everyone and welcome to the 2023 Angus Australia Bull Night. My name's Fletch Kelly.
I'm Kim Potter. And I'm Annie Pumper.
And together we are of course from ABS Australia Beef. We've worked really hard to bring you a team of bulls tonight to cover a wide array of bases. We really hope you enjoy the information that we've got to share. So sit back, relax and enjoy. Our first bull this evening is Spickler Right Time 78.61. As you can see here, a bull that's commanded a lot of attention since he arrived in early autumn this year. To be honest, I stumbled across this bull in the States last year and I was just totally blown away. We found him by accident, saw him out there at Montana. Phenotypically probably one of the best bulls I've seen in the US in some time. Not just phenotypically awesome, but very structurally sound and a very docile bull as well. He's got a big butt on him, a top on him like your kitchen table. He's deep and thick and wide and square from every angle that you look at. I absolutely love this bull, and I think, in my opinion, he's everything that the Angus industry is screaming out for at the moment. This is a bull that is going to add a whole lot of power, muscle and punch back into your herd. He's a bull that on his EBVs won't do you any harm either. He's pretty versatile across the board, and one of the things that I like about him the most is that on the maternal side, he descends from the original S. Chisholm. It's no secret that a real favourite of mine is the Millamurra Rembrandt bull. From the day he sold, he's done a tremendous job. Thickness, softness, structural integrity, everything we love about the Millamurra program wrapped up in a really handy phenotypic package here. Very usable data set. This is a bull that's had tremendous seed stock and commercial use around Australia for the last couple of years. He's a bull that's young progeny people are raving about. I can't wait to see them come through the sale ring in the next couple of years. Rembrandt is dopey quiet, and the way he's held his condition in collection and both natural service is just such a credit to the bull. This is a bull that's going to continue to have tremendous application around Australia, and I can't wait to see what he does.
Well, it's no surprise that Fletch absolutely loves Rembrandt, but the guy that I have a big soft spot for is Millamurra Rocketman R38. I always have and always will, ever since I saw him in spring of 2021. Millamara Rocketman R38 is the record-breaking $280,000 sire that sold in spring of 2021 and has been a household name ever since. He's a paratrooper son, and is he better than his sire? Well, I guess we'll leave that for another day to debate. Rocketman has such power and presence, it's really hard to look past this bull. From the tip of his muzzle, right down through his neck extension, over the strength of spine, to his hips, to his pins, down through the flank, his foot structure, his leg angles, it's really hard to look by him. The progeny on the ground are very much so what I'd like to consider a cookie cutter shape and remind me so much of Rocketman as a calf. I'm certainly excited to see the first progeny sell through the ring in the coming spring season and beyond. Rocketman is hot to trot. Don't miss out on using one of the great sires of the industry.
Woodhill Comstock, a bull that a lot of people here watching tonight will have either heard of, read about, or even used last spring. In fact, he sold out 3 times before we even had Australian data on him last year. This is a bull that was a phenotypic visual standout for me on my tours last year in November in the US. I loved Broken Bow, which is his paternal grandsire, and the influence that he had in Australia starting commercial herds back a few years ago. I absolutely love Comstock. He's moderate, he's thick set, and he's a true B- to B muscle score bull. He's really my kind of bull, and he's perfectly suited for Australian conditions. Not only is he phenotypically a standout, but he's got a very strong data set as well. For a long time I've been searching for a bull that's got a B- to B muscle pattern, but has got any form of IMF as well. But Comstock has it in spades. I'm not going to say much more on him tonight. He's going to be in huge demand this spring. Please let us know as early as you can if you intend to use the bull.
Tonight I have the pleasure of talking about Tahana Patriarch F028. He has a bulletproof maternal pedigree. He has the data and phenotype to back it up, and he is making incredibly nice females as well as bull calves. Daughters in the US are developing broody, deep body, easy fleshing young cows. And while the commercial farms over there are recognising the value of consistency, calving easy in his sons. Patriarch has sound structure and good foot quality. He's earned his stripes over in the US with high customer satisfaction. I've also had the pleasure of seeing some young progeny here in Australia, some 9-month-old bull calves that are developing extremely well. The depth of body and the thickness and the power on them is already coming through. I've also had the pleasure of seeing some really young, week-old Patriarch calves that have calved in easy, feeding well, quite aggressive, and they're going to be powerhouses come 12 months' time.
The next bull in the lineup tonight is one I simply have a lot of time for. Ben Nevis Smokin' Joe S146. Fletch and I were on tours in spring last year and knew the bull was hiding in the paddocks at Ben Nevis. But hiding he didn't do very well. I remember it very clearly coming into the paddock and seeing the bull across the distance, simply asking who it was. And sure enough, it was Smokin' Joe strutting his stuff. You have to admire this bull for his constitution. He is scored at a frame 6 and is built with so much balance and structural correctness. Smokin' Joe possesses so much pure carcass and red meat, you could almost mistake him for the modern day black Simmental. Smokin' Joe is what I like to call the commercial cattleman's dream. He's an absolute gentleman to handle and very docile. He's minus 0.3 for birth, plus 10 for calving ease, 117 for his 600 day, huge cherries at plus 2.6 and a raw measurement of 40 centimetres. 7.6 for his EMA, positive fats and 4.2 for IMF. Ben Nevis Smokin' Joe S146. Smoking hot phenotype, data to burn. He's currently in collection, so please get your orders in early and we can make sure that he's secured for your breeding program in spring this year. The next bull I get the privilege of speaking about tonight is Alpine Real Deal. and he simply is the real deal. The bull was contracted in conjunction with none other than Venture and Livestock, the Thompson family from WA. I first saw the bull many months later post-sale and was in absolute awe of him. I was in absolute awe of the extension in his fronts, his balance, his presence, his softness in his skin, and his incredible feet and leg structure. And most importantly, the raw carcass and butterfly shape he had up over top. This is a sleep easy heifer bull that has gone leaps and bounds since he came into the ABS stable. His photo simply does not do him justice. He's now home in WA, and the Thompson family have had the privilege of looking at him for the first time since their purchase. I'll now throw over to Harris Thompson to let us know what he thinks on the bull.
We purchased Alpine Real Deal last March after we've been on quite a long quest looking for a herd, so I was really going to complement the cow herd we have here and inject some serious data into our cattle. What really got us involved in Real Deal and what we really liked about him when we found him there in the catalogue was just that overall data set of the bull. We're chasing positive fat, and that 4.2 IMF to a bull with some scale is what we're really chasing. Look, we want to inject that IMF figure into our cattle, but we didn't want to lose the carcass attributes that our cattle have got and that overall scale. And Real Deal has just really done that for us. When we got Real Deal home there a couple months ago out of the centre, we were just absolutely blown away with the overall scale of the bull, the mass of the bull. You get behind, there's just so much top in him for a 4.2 IMF bull, and you just look at him and he's just, the skin and the hair type on him is really impressive. We've had some respected cattlemen come out and check him out since we've been home, and everyone, and we are too, just blown away with the foot quality of the bull. He's so quiet, he gets out and moves. He's really easy doing bull. We got him here with 50 pairs and heifers and everything in here, and he's just taking all his stride, and it's been a tougher season here in the West, and he's really handling himself well in the cows. His first calf crop here we're really impressed with, just the overall grow in the cattle. They're born small, they're born early, short gestation, and they get up and grow, and probably that's the number one thing we're here looking for in our Angus job that we're doing here at Ventron, is just that overall cattle that can get out and grow, and they look like they're going to have the scale the Real Deal's got, and they're looking like they're going to have the skin and hair type that he's got, and we're really looking forward to selling his first sons in our sale in February, and we're really looking forward to what he's going to do for our program in the future.
I've got the pleasure of talking about Square B True North 8052. I spoke about him last year, and I can't let it go by without speaking about him again. A bull that pulls at my heartstrings. Covers maternal direction. He is wide with exceptional muscle shape and substance. Easy fleshing, docile with high feet quality. Early sons here in Australia are demonstrating that shape and muscle and type about them. Really excited about seeing some early bulls that are going to be selling in August. True North is worth sampling this year, especially on the back of the progeny that are already here in Australia. Don't miss out on using True North. Basin True Grit 1021, one of the most complete and balanced sons to date. His EPDs have a double-digit calving ease, he has maternal foundation, and he offers growth and marbling. We're expecting him to produce daughters who are attractively patterned, big-bodied, and easy fleshing just like his sire. We're super excited to bring True Grit in, a son of True North. We all love True North, and I think that the True Grit is the next step up.
Rissington Sovereign, a young gun out of the highly acclaimed Rissington Cattle Company in New Zealand. This is a bull that has perhaps the strongest data set out of any Angus bull we've ever had in the history of ABS beef. It is just phenomenal. A Paringa Monarch son, not only does Sovereign dominate in terms of his EBVs, but interestingly also in the Leachman dollar profit analysis, which sees him ranked in the top 1% for dollar profit, as well as the #1 ranked fertility bull over there as well. This is a bull that is not just going to add good data to people's herds, but also is going to deliver in a lot of phenotype as well. I'd use this bull over larger frame cows just to fold that little bit more softness through and moderate them down a fraction. He's structurally sound and all the phenotypic fundamentals of this bull are there. but he's also going to strengthen your data tremendously. Rissington Sovereign's going to be in hot demand this year, so please make sure you get your orders in early.
The next bull certainly is an interesting one, and one that we brought out from America in autumn of this year, and that is BJ Surpass. Surpass comes from a pedigree going back to the well-known Basin Payweight 1682 out of a Gar Prophet daughter. Progeny reports from the US tell us that they are consistently sharp-fronted, deep-sided and softly made with an extra body and balance to them. Surpass's American EPDs solidifies him as a calving ease, growth spread specialist that governs mature size, emphasises maternal traits and still excels at end product merit. Used correctly, Surpass will be the perfect in the toolbox for spring. We currently have limited stocks available on Surpass, so get in early and don't surpass the opportunity to use him.
Dunoon Sunstone S378, the top selling Prime Minister's son for $60,000 to Ben Nevis Angus at this autumn's Dunoon bull sale. A bull that in many respects has a story not dissimilar to Landfall Newground, in that he looked cherry ripe leading up to the sale, but was subsequently injured and looked a bit off on sale day. This is a bull that was definitely overlooked by a lot of people, and I think he slipped through the cracks. I had the opportunity to view the bull about a month after the sale, and I was blown away by how good he looked, and I couldn't wait to bring him into the ABS fold this spring. Sunstone is a bull that is immaculate from head to toe. He has a great head, clean front, clean neck, and he's smooth as a baby's bum through the shoulder. He has a strong top line that flows beautifully into excellent tail placement, and he's got that big peachy bum on him, just like his sire Dunoon Prime Minister, who we've come to know and love. Underneath, he's structurally sound. He's got a great set of nuts, he's clean sheathed with no white. This is a bull, phenotypically, that I think a lot of people will want to sample. Not only is the story of Sunstone similar to that of Newground, but I also happen to think that they're peas in a pod in terms of their phenotype and also the data that they offer. If you were to sit down and write the perfect data set for an Angus animal, chances are it might actually look something like this. Big calving ease, low birth with explosive growth, but moderate mature cow weight in there as well. Now take a look at the docility, scrotal and milk combination on this bull, and I haven't even got to the carcass bit. Have a look at his EMA, 11.6, positive ribbon rump for fat and 3.7 for IMF, let alone his structural data. Take a look at that. This is a bull that ticks a lot of boxes, both phenotypically, but also in his data department. I think history is going to show that this is a bull that is going to have a lot of influence in Australian herds over the next 3 to 4 years, and I can't wait to see the calves drop in the next 9 to 12 months.
Many may remember this bull as the bull that sold in between Rembrandt and Rocket Man at the 2021 record-breaking Millamara sale. Some may think he was outshone on the day, but he's a bull that ABS have always admired. After seeing various progeny across New South Wales in the last couple of weeks and months, there was no doubt that we had to reconnect with this bull. Therefore, we are extremely proud and excited to announce the introduction of Millamara Rector R53 into the ABS stable this spring. I inspected this bull in late April, where he resides at Springwater's Angus Stud in Burrowa, New South Wales. I was incredibly impressed with how he had matured from his overall type, length of body and incredibly sound feet. The bull's pedigree is absolutely littered with Angus gold. Now taking a quick look at his data, he's moderate for birth and calving ease, crazy gestation sitting in the top 2%, big EMA at plus 10.3, positive fats and a whopping plus 3.9 for IMF. He sits in the top 3% for claw, top 1% for foot angle and top 5% for leg angle. Millamara Rector R53 combines the phenotype that we know and love from the Millamara program, the bred in the purple pedigree and the carcass data that is so remarkable. A bull we are so incredibly excited to have joining the ABS lineup. He is now in collection and should have semen available ready for spring joinings.
At ABS Beef, your herd is very much our passion.
and we are dead set about helping you breed the best cattle you can and boosting your bottom line.
We have quality bulls for both commercial and seed stock operations.
So if you have any more questions on the bulls we spoke about tonight or anything else in our bull lineup, please get in contact. Our details will be on the bottom of the screen now. And one last thing, our 2023-2024 directory is out now. So if you haven't received one, please get in contact and we'll make sure it's on your coffee table.
Thanks very much for joining us tonight, and we really do wish you all the best for your spring joinings. Thank you.
And we're back for another spring Angus Bull Night. This year's instalment 2023, we've got a shorter format, so we've decided to just focus on our newer sires. If you're chasing information on some of those more proven older sires, have a listen to previous year's Bull Nights. Otherwise, strap yourself in, it's going to be fun, and there's some pretty exciting bulls coming up. Stockman's Solution, a bull that we've seen unprecedented demand in already, and just by releasing 10 doses in that Angus Youth Auction as pre-release semen to his much anticipated spring release later this year, that semen made $350 in an open auction for the Angus Youth. We were blown away by the response on that and shows just how much market appeal this bull has. This Solution bull offers calving ease and growth and a phenotype you can just drool over. We're here with Damien Gomez, and we're talking about a bull that you purchased last year, Stockman's Solution. And he's a New Zealand bull, isn't he, that caught your eye, obviously, and you got into him early. How did you come across that bull?
Yeah, well, I just actually saw something on Facebook. We've been looking for a bull, another calving ease bull with a bit of data and a bit fresh pedigree, I suppose, for the last 12, 18 months. And
with your typical phenotype too,
you've got to have some shape, got to have some type in them, for sure. And, we just he's just come up on Facebook, and we just went, wow, this looks right, and started investigating a bit more. And Ross Milne actually mentioned to me a couple of days later, and we started getting our investigators over the ditch, having a bit of a look around, and talked to Rob and Sherry, and started querying them about getting Aussie semen rights in him, and they said, oh, hang on, well, if you want to do that, we might just pull him from the sale because we don't really want to sell him. That's how much we think of him. So it was good.
Yeah, so they're using him currently? Or
they are using him currently, and I think they just released a few packages of semen over there, and that sold out very quickly. So that's worked well.
Yep. So from the outset, I promised you a couple of brand new, never seen before bulls. Here's the first one from the US, and I'm going to save the best one till last, an Australian bull I think you're going to all sink your teeth into. Have a look at this US bull, Sits Galactic. A stellar son that we found through lots of searching for bulls with this sort of phenotype, with this sort of performance package. Get amongst him, beautiful rib and sweep to his rib right through. He cuts right along that flank and then right down through that rear third. Awesome power in this bull. And then have a look at that cow family. Those jets at Sits's produced numbers of bulls in AI studs before, and I think they're going to do it again here in this bull Galactic. A bull that brings to the table some low birth weight with high growth, good carcass, strong fats and excellent feet. This bull will be a foot improver for the breed, and phenotypically he's going to bring a lot of eye appeal as well. We'll have more to say about this bull once we've seen some progeny and the bull himself in the US later this year. But at this point, we're right behind him, and I think you should be too. Now I'm going to cover a couple more proven options for you that we've got, and bulls you all know about and seen lots of footage on already, but Sterling Pacific. Starting to rack the numbers up together on proven progeny in Australia, where bulls at prime sold for over 80,000 here recently, and there's other bulls to come in this selling season that I think will set the world alight. If you haven't used Pacific, I think he's one you really need to have a look at. He's cemented himself as a high growth sire now, super docile cattle and solid feed on this fella too. Pacific, the semen's been selling fast. Every bit we get in seems to sell out, so we're just ordering him constantly through the spring. Don't be afraid to get your orders in early on him, just to secure that supply for your spring joinings. But Pacific's become a bit of a household name in Australia, and we're pretty proud to have him in our stable, and look forward to all the phone calls that we've been getting and we'll get further on about his progeny across the country. Pacific will add mass, add growth, still with good marbling at 3.2. Keep your docility in check and keep you safe at ground level. Now into a couple of Australian proven fellas. Murderduke Quarterback. This bull's absolute stud when he hit the market, selling volumes and volumes of semen, and just managed to keep up. You'll see the progeny start to hit the deck. There was a few sold last year, a couple will see this year. I looked at some at Burramuka there just last week, and that first group of bulls there by Quarterback really emphasised what that bull can do for you from a performance standpoint, but not only that, in a phenotype point. The joy of this bull is probably yet to be discovered, and it's the daughters. I've seen some early ones just starting to bag up now with their first calves underneath them, and wowee, these are something special. Now that long extended front that you don't see in a lot of carcass bulls with clean through that neck and clean through that underline, bit of flank to them, great udders, and just really oozing femininity, these young cows. And I think this is where this bull's going to be his strongest. The females we're going to see, they're going to last forever and really produce and put the numbers in the bank that people want. Make bulls that make money for you guys and make money for your clients as well. I just looked at this bull Quarterback the other week at TLG. He's been on centre on collection for some sex semen, so we've got that available for you as well. But just at ground level, the feed on this bull, outstanding for a mature bull that spent nearly all his life on semen collection. Pretty excited about what he's got to go with his life, but he's been a good stalwart for us, and I think we'll continue with a +5 marbling. What a bull to have. Maternal with carcass. Let's have a look at this bull that's just starting to get his first sons on the ground, Moonjanilla Quinella, a bull we added 18 months ago that brings that thickness and with a low mature cow weight and really modern performance package that we look for. One of the purchases in that bull was Rennie Angus, and we'll talk to Ruth and get her thoughts on the bull and see some progeny. So we're just out here at Reddy Lee looking at a bull, Moonjanilla Quinella Q33, who's a bull that you guys purchased last year, wasn't it? And about this time last year. And you've just used him in AI here. We're just looking at some sons in that now. Ruth, tell me a little bit about that bull. You used him in AI at the start, and then you've carved in some heifers just now. So tell us a bit about those heifers and the carving ease on the bull.
Rob, we've used Q33 for the last 2 years. Okay. We carved down, I just had a look this morning, we carved down 62 heifers last spring. They calved well. The average birth weight was 32 kilos, I think, and there was one assist, which is so they calved well.
So then that calving ease, I suppose, on those bulls, and then those calves, you do white scores as well on your calves?
Yep. We score white on them on a 1 to 5 score, and they were basically 80% were ones, so there was no white or
on 80%.
Very little white on them.
Yep. And then I suppose this is the oldest of them here in this yearling sort of age. I see you got a couple in the sale lined up.
Yep.
How are you finding the type on the bulls?
The bulls, we've been very impressed with the phenotype. So the bulls, they were smart calves. They stood out at weaning. They were thick, and the temperament's been pretty good. And after weaning, we had all the bulls in a containment yard for 2 months following weaning, and when you went and looked at the bulls, they really, they really stood out.
Yep.
People had come and they'd usually pick out a Q33, just thick and muscly, and like phenotype's excellent.
Yeah, they've got a real eye appeal to them, I think, an impressive head and length of body and a lot of deep in that rear third. So, yeah, we look forward to what that bull can do there. So now it's time to amp things up a bit with Dunoon Recharge. The top price bull from Dunoon last year at $90,000, purchased with Cluny Range, Angus and Nareen Park. Phenotypic standout, thought by all the buyers as well, pushed him to that price. Look at this bull from any angle. He offers a huge amount of length and volume, sort of style you expect from Dunoon, those meaty, bigger frame, bigger sort of get over a lot of ground sort of bulls that move really well. This fella moves exceptionally, and then you get to his feet. And what a treat that part of this bull is. Really sound-footed bull. And we just love this bull with his head carriage and his neck. And the guys that purchased him are giving us that same story. Those calves are starting to hit the ground now around the country, and a few people are starting to ring us up, say, hey, these Recharge calves look the real deal. So that's exciting for us. And exciting for you guys too, I think, in the sense that, you can have a lot of confidence in this bull from ground level right through to the top of his spine, and then you get on and look at his performance package that he offers with that, things you expect from a 519, but with a bit more growth, and then huge positive fats, awesome carcass. Yep, what a bull to have, and what an easy bull to use. Okay, we're here at the Rock, Angus, with James Masson, and we've just looked at a bull called Landfall Summit. He's a bull that James purchased earlier in the autumn this year. James, tell me a little bit about this Summit bull and what appealed to you for you to purchase him.
We were looking for a bull to increase carcass merit in our herd, and he's an L519 son, so we knew what he'd bring to the table. So he's got great IMF, carcass, positive fats, low birth weight, great out to 400 and 600 days, and excellent structure. So structure's always been an issue, a thing we're trying to improve on. He's got great feet and he should be a foot improver.
We just did some video now that you'll see here, and you should see his feet that we saw on a hard deck. Like, his feet are really good. He's up on that heel and that sort of thing. He's a pretty handy bull structurally, and the performance is outstanding. He's got a lot of shape to him too, I think.
He does, yeah.
With his pedigree and that. So he's a bull you've used quite a bit already?
We have. We've used him over our autumn joining on both heifers and cows, and he's been in an ET program where he's been used over 5 donors.
Yeah, okay. Yep, yeah, so he's had a lot. You expect a lot of progeny coming from him.
We do.
And did Landfall use him as well? Was he one of the used?
Landfall had used them before him.
Yep. Yeah, excellent. So now there's pretty exciting sort of package, this bull, and I think it'll be interesting to see what comes of him. We look forward to seeing the calves.
Yeah, as do we. Yeah.
Thanks, James.
All right, thanks, Rob.
Statesman. This bull, for us, has made one hell of a statement to show us what you guys really want. We've had a huge amount of orders on this bull, so this is a must-order bull in the next few weeks if you want to use this bull this spring. This bull brings a huge amount of length that we'd expect. He gets that from his sire, I suppose. But his feet look exceptional. I don't know, I keep talking about feet, but this bull is very good on depth of heel and very straight in his claw as well. Just a super long body and then a ham on him like you don't see on a lot of Angus bulls anymore. That real deep thigh and thick and square across over the pins as well. So square behind, long body, middle of the road frame bull though. So let's remember, this bull's not a big bull, he's middle of the road for frame. He's worked a lot of cows down in King Island, and he's back on the mainland now, and we're excited to rip into him and get as much semen that this bull can make. And he's selling off the hooks for a young bull that we put in the Edge program, just in that, sort of mid to back of the catalogue, and people have just found him. I think it's obviously the phenotype and the performance that he brings, but just look at him. What a rooster, and a lot of confidence. But what I said before was, if you want to use Paringa Statesman this spring, I'd order it in the next couple of weeks if you haven't ordered it already. Okay, now it's time for the pièce de résistance of the evening, the bull we've been keeping a lid on, but we're pretty excited to launch him to the marketplace. He's Peaks Everest S557. Remember that name. This bull has drove my phone flat every day for the last 3 weeks. The phone calls I've been getting on this bull and orders we've had have been phenomenal. A bull that, I think the reputation has helped this bull as much as anything, but when you see the bull, people order. And he's a bull, I think, that the industry's been really looking for. I mean, I joke with a few people and call him the unicorn. A bull that really offers a true sort of outcross pedigree with some distant relatives in there that bring him relevant to the population to give you the performance that you really want. Now, the performance on this bull is unbelievable. Like, he's a low birth, mid-130s for that 600 day. His mature cow weight's not out of control. There's really not many holes in this bull. He's a big EMA bull with nice positive fats. And the IMF is over 4. And the feet on this bull, the feet that his data has given you as well, like, he's going to make sons that really, really sell. They're just going to be like shelling peas selling these Everest sons. This bull is the peak of the breed right at the minute, and that's really where he puts himself, and that's probably hence the name Everest. He's at the top. I can tell this not by just seeing the bull and talking to people, but it's the people that are actually ordering the semen. It really sets us up to really tell us. I mean, we don't have to tell you guys how good this bull is. You can see it. And you've been telling us by ordering semen. So pumped to have him, excited. He's a bull that I've looked for years, and I think he's probably one of the best bulls that we've signed here at Agri-Gene for a number of years. So a bull that will have high demand this spring. I look forward to what he's got to do ahead of him. He will work cows again. He's already joined heifers at Peakies there in the spring last year. So he's done his work. He will go back to work again. He's currently at Holbrook trying to make as much semen as he can. And look out, because if you don't use this bull, I think you've missed out. Peaks, Everest. So in closing for tonight, I'd just like to thank everyone for joining us along, and thanks to all those who are involved in producing the video and also participating in it. We really appreciate those customers that give us their time to show us around their cows, see the progeny, which helps us and you make better decisions going forward about what bulls you want to use in the future. It's a great treat to give you those insights into our bulls, and we really enjoy it. So don't stop here at this bull night. Feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, email. We'll endeavour to get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Hi everyone, I'm Amy Bolton.
And I'm Monique McKinnon, and we are part of the Angus Youth Roundup Committee, working on bringing you the 2024 Angus Youth Roundup in Tamworth between the 10th to the 14th of January.
Entries are now open. Please visit the Angus Australia website for all the details on how to enter. You can be between ages 8 and 25 to join in on all the fun at the Angus Youth Roundup. This includes learning about the beef industry, making new friends, and hanging out with the Angus family.
The Angus Australia Youth National Roundup relies heavily on the sponsorship of industry to deliver this event. We are now seeking sponsorship opportunities to suit all budgets, and every dollar helps us deliver this industry-leading event. Please consider your sponsorship opportunities. This event is not to be missed.
For more information on Angus Australia National Youth Roundup, please visit the website or get in contact with our event manager, Tony Nugent. See you all there.
How you going? I'm Andrew Medhurst of Alta Genetics Australia. We're back and bigger again for the 2023 Angus Australia Spring Bull Night. We've been everywhere in the last 12 months. We've been to the Dakotas, we've been to Nebraska. We're here in sunny Kingston, South Australia today. We've been to Euroa in the Victoria's northeast. So sit back, we're going to profile some new bulls, some existing bulls, and catch up with some producers who have got some progeny on the ground.
Let's talk about a few individual bulls that are an important part at Alta. Of course, a few years ago we bought a bull called Big Valley that you've used extensively. Unfortunately the bull's no longer with us. In recent years we bought a really good calving ease bull named Reformer.
You bet. Big Valley, he was a striking individual out here sale day, and extremely thick, all kinds of muscle definition, a lot of growth out of a powerful cow, a Greeley daughter. We used that bull extensively. He was a Dry Valley son, and we opted to move past Dry Valley and go to Big Valley. Big Valley had a little more carcass, a little more marbling, a little more growth. And we were extremely pleased. We've the cowboys here in western Nebraska have eaten those Big Valley Suns up over the years. They know when they buy a Big Valley Sun that you know, those resulting feeder calves they're not gonna have any trouble getting to that 1,500 pounds in a hurry. And then product merit's been very good on those cattle. We've kept plenty of daughters out of Big Valley. I like those daughters. I can cross him back on a bull maybe that doesn't have quite as much smoke, and those Big Valley daughters will kind of carry the ball, and they've worked awfully well. The udders are good on them. Fleshing ability's good. They're powerful kind of females. The former bull that you bought is probably as deep bodied, as massive as a bull as what we offered that fall. We got calves out of him. We bred him to heifers the first time around. Gestation was short on those females. I would say that we used maybe 8 different sires on those heifers, and the first, I'd say, half a dozen calves were all reformer calves, and those females were all mass bred. The calves were born extremely easy, light. They're still young, but they look like they're going to grow really well.
One of the top-selling bulls at Alta Genetics this year has been a bull called Woodhill Patton. Patton is a widely proven, high-accuracy calving ease bull that excels for so many more traits. He's a bull that's been used widely in both purebred and commercial herds. He's a bull that our reps are going to for bona fide calving ease and a no-nonsense, no-problem type sire. He's a bull with exceptional growth and maternal traits. He's also a bull that's high in his marbling area. His mother is a donor from the Woodhill Farms program, a program that's been very famous here in the United States. Just as their past sale at Woodhill Farms, 3 of their first 5 bulls were maternal brothers to Patton, along with the largest sire group that they offered that day, Sons of Patton. So when we look at using Patton, he is a bull that is extremely big-bodied. He's deep-middled. He's deep-flanked. He's a bull that's going to put some more mass and some more softness in some of these cattle. One of the really special things about the bull, he's about a coming 6-year-old bull. He's a big-footed, really sound structured bull. He's never had his feet touched at all. Bull with exceptional athletic ability and the ability to travel. He's also one of our high fertility bulls and a great semen producer, which is another big key factor here when we talk about traits that are important in the beef industry. So Patton is a bull that's been high on our list. He's a bull that our sales team here in the United States has really moved towards to recommend to their commercial customers for high fertility, calving ease, and exceptional performance. So Patton is a bull that's really high on everyone's list.
We're here today with Peter Wilkinson and family, Mystic Angus Gurumbat in northeast Victoria. We've used Woodhill Patton here early on in the piece, one of the first users of Patton in the country. So Peter, what have you found from using Woodhill Patton?
Yeah, we're really excited with Woodhill Patton. We've got some very good bulls in our bull sale in a few weeks' time. He's putting very low birth weight into his progeny to start with, but excellent growth rates as well. So very happy with the way they're coming along. Structure of the cattle's been fantastic as well. Really good feed on those Patton cattle, and very thick set cattle. So yeah, really happy with the way they're coming along so far.
So what, I suppose, whereabouts in the herd, what sort of cows did you use Patton on?
Yeah, we've used Patton over some Texas Ernan daughters, which were carrying a fair bit of birth weight as well. So, you know, he certainly brought them back down in birth weight. We've kept that growth punching along. You know, scrotal sizes on those bulls are really good as well. So yeah, we're looking forward, you know, as females come through the system to see what they're going to milk like down the track, and hopefully we can get some good daughters coming into the system as well.
Yeah, no, well, look, I've certainly been very impressed by the Patton Sons we've seen here this afternoon. Like, yeah, as Peter said, the growth's there, the depth's there, the body's there. Yeah, I really think he's going to be a bull where he's going to be a heifer safe option, low birth weight, high growth. So he will be a bull that can be able to have a wide range of applications throughout your potential future breeding programs. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
Yep,
Great to see him. Thank you.
Good stuff. Thank you.
We're here this morning at Bellows Spur Angus with Brenton Sessions in sunny Euroa. Bellows Spur Platinum P46 was a bull we featured last year in the Angus Australia Spring Bull Night. We're following up again this year. The first sons were for sale in the Bellows Spur Angus bull sale this year. Brenton, do you want to tell us a bit about what you found with the bulls in the sale and how the heifers are developing?
Yeah, look, we offered up 15 sons of our 32 on offer this year, and they were a result of a P46 being the backup sire to our heifer mating 2 years prior. So to have 15 sons come up and make the grade was a really good effort. We, as a stud, sold 4 bulls into seed stock operations, 3 of them being P46 sons, which is a really good effort for a homebred bull. We're just really proud of what they're doing. They're so consistent in their type everywhere you go, and we see in the heifers, they're beautiful uddered sort of heifers. They carry their udder up nice and tight to the body, like the bulls carry their purse up nice and tight. Really strong heads, a lot of softness all the way through, and we're getting some incredible scan data too. Like that drafted bull scanned as high as 8.2 on marbling and averaged about 7.2 across the draft, so significantly higher than anything else. The heifers are extremely fertile. The 2-year-olds, we had one there calving at 21 months and rebreed back within 50 days and raised a calf through, so they're really impressive sort of cattle that are doing the job. We was lucky enough to go up to Crawford Angus on Monday, and a really nice draft of P46 sons up there, so I think the bull's going to do a lot wherever he goes. So.
This morning walking around the bulls, the P46s, they well and truly stand out amongst their contemporary group this year, so I think there'll be something to look forward to in the next year's bull sales, and I think the heifers are going to do a real job for you. So thanks for Brendan.
No worries.
Much appreciated.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Ellingson Three Rivers has been a breed leader in the United States for overall performance. One of the highest weaning weight and yearling weight and carcass weight bulls in the Angus breed. A bull that's been a tremendous sire. He's a bull that sired an outstanding set of sons at Ellingson Angus for the last few years. Those bulls have really been well accepted by commercial cattlemen for their overall performance, muscle, and mass. He's a bull with a tremendous amount of top. He's got a big square hip on him. He's excellent with his scrotal development. He's got a little bit more bone and structure and substance to him and stands on a big solid foot. He's a bull that's got a tremendous amount of mass when you see him coming from the front end and walking away from behind. He's a bull that's been used quite a bit in purebred and commercial herds on mature cows, as we recommend him to be used that way, to power up some cattle, to add some more substance to them, to add some more fleshing ability and durability to them, and also to add extra pounds. And at the end of the day, our customers are extremely happy. We saw a number of Three River Sons top bull sales this past spring, and we expect many more to come this fall. Well, a bull that's really risen to the top of our program is a bull called KCF Bennett Culmination. In the most recent Angus National Cattle Evaluation, Culmination is the #1 C bull when you look at sires that are in double digit for calving ease direct and in the top 10% for weaning and yearling growth. He's a bull that is balanced across the board with exceptional performance and maternal strength and exceptional carcass merit. He's a bull that really leads the breed in a number of the dollar index values. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, is one of the highest $C proven bulls in the Angus breed here in the United States. Culmination is a bull that topped the No Crest Farm sales a number of years ago and has been used extensively in their program in Virginia, one of the leading herds of Angus cattle here in the United States. Culmination himself is a moderate frame bull that's really long-sided, really sound, big-footed bull that's been a favorite of everyone that's seen him in the stud. His first progeny have sold well in the Knoll Crest Farm sales, and he's been used widely across the country here in the United States, both in purebred and in commercial herds.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Alta Australia, it's been a pleasure being part of the 2023 Angus Australia Spring Bull Nut. We look forward to connecting with many of you in the near future, and if there's any way Alta can help you and support your spring breeding decisions, please don't hesitate to be in touch with your local Alta advisor. We'd like to extend a sincere thank you to our clients for being involved with this evening: Don Trimmer, our US Beef Sales Manager, Jerry Keneally from Keneally Angus in Nebraska, and you producers at home. Thank you very much.
I would say a lot of the BRD that I get on my farm goes undetected. We find the best time to vaccinate is obviously at weaning, and if we're trading cattle, it's when they arrive on our farm. Bovishield MH1, you only need one.
Well, welcome everyone to the 2023 Angus Spring Bull Night for Breeder Genetics. Really excited to present a pretty diverse, awesome lineup of bulls to you this evening. We're going to run through about half a dozen or so bulls and just brush over them, give you some sort of updates on them, and then we're going to finish up on a new US bull and a new sire we've pulled out of the land of the Kiwis. The first bull I want to talk to you about tonight is a bull from Nebraska, Keneally Waymaker. Check out this new picture, he's looking awesome. As progeny are coming in through the Keneally system, we're just seeing a bit of an increase in his marbling on the US system. Not to say that that's going to happen out here, but it's great to see a bit of raw data starting to flow through on the bull, and it's all moving in a really positive direction. Also noting his docility's moved to top 15% off the back of progeny in the US. Just remember, Waymaker, he's going to inject a lot of functionality, muscle, thickness, length, softness, docility into your cow herd. Really functional bull. Love the overall power and performance. Going to add that little extra bone. Yes, he needs to be used on cows. He's going to have that little heavier front end that we're going to see with some of those power bulls. He was a really high scanning bull at Keneally's in a massive contemporary, remembering he ratioed 157 for IMF. Mother of this bull is an excellent uddered female, the type of cow we'd all like to have in our front paddock. Look, with the first craft crop at Keneally's creating a bit of attention and a bit of a stir in the US, really excited for how this bull goes. With an outcross pedigree, with the performance to match, he's a really easy bull to see why we're leading with tonight. The next bull we're going to talk to you about is Nolosirite S48. Look, early calf reports are only early, but check out this calf. How cool is he looking down at Moora? Thanks to the Sykes down there for sending this in. He's really grown out to a really impressive sire. He's looking awesome. If you want to go look at him, please do. When you analyse the phenotype and structure of the bull, his amazing temperament, the cow family, just when you mash it all together, he's quite literally the complete package. Have a good look at him. If you haven't used him yet, probably not too late. Plenty of semen in the bank. Have a good look at him. Next fellow, Sterling Confidence Plus 804. Look, if you can look through a working bull photo, you ought to really like this fellow. Calf reports from the autumn are really strong again, moderate, thick, easy flashing, heavy muscled potties. Look, he's a really good footed, free moving, sound bull. Look, I think that this is probably going to be a bull probably to make us females. I'm going to go out on a bold limb and say he's going to improve udders from what I've seen in sort of those 3-4-year-old daughters in the US. Tremendous maternal strength behind him. You've got the half sister to Isabel Y69 jammed in there, going back to the Isabel T cow. The next bull we're going to talk about is a young sire. He's a really exciting prospect in Hillsview Sam S13. When you combine the carcass and soundness of Quarterback with the maternal strength and power of the Dream Cow family, you ought to come up with the goods, and that's what we're seeing in this young bull. Look, Dam P141 was a highlight of the young females in the Premier Dispersal, selling for $34,000, and then the Grand Dam G13 was $38,000 at Banquet, and then we look at the Great Grand Dam Dream Y301, really cemented her place here, hardly needs an introduction tonight. A logical step forward from his sire. Look, he's going to add growth, softness, maternal strength, soundness, and a carcass all in a heifer bull with a fair bit of growth out the other end. Look, if you're ready to move on from quarterback, this fella might be a good go-to option. The next bull to roll into, another kind of carcass bull, Baldridge Versatile. Again, really strong calf reports coming in from the autumn, being used in some bigger herds. Excited to see how these go. Look, this is a bigger bull that we've seen out of the US in a little while. Use him on some more moderate, easy fleshing, stouter made cows. He's still really long bodied, deep bodied, really free moving, expresses great sire appeal, a beautiful front end on the bull, stands square and moves with really square to the ground. Check out his data, really good bull to punch in some IMF and growth calving ease. The next bull we're going to roll into is Lawson's Rocky R4010. There's lots of data coming in on Rocky. He's held a strong calving ease, short gestation and a 2.7 birth weight, along with top 15% docility with nearly 300 calves. We are really eagerly awaiting the first of his scan and structure data to come into the system, which hopefully isn't too far away. Look, we'd really recommend you getting eyes on this bull. He's going to be floating around central to northern New South Wales. Look, get in, have a look at him. I think you'll be really pleasantly surprised. I'd love to make up your own mind. Find some progeny, have a good look at him. I think you're going to like what you see. The combination of data and phenotype really speaks for itself here with Rocky. He's the only animal in the breed to have his level of calving ease, growth, fertility and carcass data. The next bull we're going to move on to is a really powerful bull coming out of North Dakota, and that's Miller's Duke 816. Check out the power and performance with a much needed outcross pedigree in this bloke. Appreciate the spread of birth to growth data here, and his data is mirrored in the US but with a lot of progeny records to hold it up. Demand was really strong at the recent Miller's sale with 33 sons averaging nearly $2,000 US more than their record sale average. Duke's going to add length, volume, calving ease, growth, maternal power and fertility, all with a really standout docility. Again, like Duke, another power bull from the US, Musgrave Rob Roy. Rob Roy could be one of the most exciting bulls in recent times to come out of Musgrave. He blends two really awesome cow families into one pedigree with the Isabel and Lady Lass cow family there. Look, Rob Roy, really heavy muscled power bull. Use him on some cows, punch out some real powerful fellas. He's been bred, really good cow. She's been flushed extensively in the Musgrave program. Look, Musgraves have received their first calves by Rob Roy and they're really happy with them off Tyler's reports. He's a larger, more powerful version of his sire from what we're seeing out here in Australia. Have a good look at him if you want some bone, power and muscle shape. It's that time of night where we introduce our two new sires for the spring. The first bull we're going to talk about is a bull out of Iowa from the Hoover herd. Finally, we've got a calving ease, low birth Hoover no doubt son from the best cow family at Hoover Angus. Introducing Hoover About It. Look, this was a really easy choice for us to use as a heifer bull without a sacrifice on thickness, power and growth at that weaning time. He's out of a beautiful uddered 38 special daughter. She's a moderate cow and she's got a wonderful 349-day calving interval, and that's just really indicative of the overall fertility coming through this cow family. Great Grand Dam G366 is regarded as the best cow and most influential cow ever bred at Hoover's in their 95-year history. At least 15 of her direct daughter descendants have served at donors at Hoover's. Grand Dam N54 has a perfect 365-day calving interval despite having several flushes over that time. I really can't oversell the maternal value and power that stands in behind About It. about it is an attractive, smooth-made bull that is really long, big-hipped, thick, and has all the muscle you'd expect from a no-doubt son. He's going to be on that more moderate side for people. Give him some big cows to moderate, add some fleshing ability and some serious power and performance. Really happy with the structure on this bull. I think this is a bull we're going to see a little bit more of. The next bull we're going to roll to is our Kiwi sire. After a lot of searching and a lot of looking, really think we found a gem here in Turi Roa Complete P250. Complete was selected at the end of our NZ trip here just gone in June. He was sold to Oregon Angus for $86,000 in their 2020 sale, and he has some serious amount of sheer power, body mass and just impeccable structure. Progeny, a moderate framed, full of red meat with an explosive hind quarter and that real classic Springer rib. Himself and his progeny are also really docile. I think there's a really lot to offer here. Dam L94 has also left another stud bull selling for $40,000 at the 2022 Tui Roa sale. She's a Crump E5 daughter who stamps longevity and easy fleshing into any cattle wherever he's been used in New Zealand. With the prowess and outcross Kiwi pedigree, Complete is a versatile bull for a choice across a vast array of females, making him really quite easy to use. Look, the easiest way to pull it is that this is the type of bull you're going to struggle to take your eyes off. If you're looking for something to get your heart set on, have a good look at Complete. I think he's something a bit special. That wraps up everything for us this evening. Thanks for watching. If you want any more information on these bulls, please don't hesitate to get in touch, or any other bulls in the lineup. There's a lot of other bulls we could have spoken about here this evening, but just conscious of time, wanted to brush over a few individuals. Look, our spring sire directory is going to be available very soon, if it already hasn't dropped by this coming out to you. So please keep an eye out for it. There's a lot more information in there. Really excited to get that out for this spring. Once again, thanks to everyone for watching, and we'll hopefully catch up with you all soon. Cheers. Oh, buddy. Come on.
Have to look to the future, and foundations are about the future, and so therefore to support the foundation is supporting the future, and that's obviously a very important thing.
Welcome everybody to the worldwide size presentation of the Angus Australia Spring Bull Night. Once again, lucky enough to be coming to you from Kansas City in the United States with Ryan Bodenhausen from Select Sires. Ryan is in charge of many varied things in Select Sires, but one of them is sire acquisition. Ryan, maybe one of the first bulls we could jump into right up is a bull called Step Up. Why don't you give us some thoughts on Step Up bull?
So Step Up's one we're pretty excited about at Select Sires. A bull that offers a lot of flexibility to us, a little bit of a different kind of a pedigree, but also a bull that just is real striking from a phenotype standpoint. The bull's really complete, a lot of muscle, depth, shape as well. But really you love his EPD profile. He's a really high marbling bull, but look at his foot scores. I mean, the bull has tremendous feet himself as well to match that. This is a bull that's came in as semi-proven to us, and there's already been quite a few offspring, and they've sold really, really well here. They've been really well accepted. He's had a lot of sale toppers, and I think a bull that when you see the progeny, you just admire them for their consistency. If you walk in a pen, you do like every one of them. They're just very consistent in their type and their kind, and so when you combine that with the data that he has and the phenotype of the bull himself, he's just a bull that we're really excited about the opportunity for what he can can do for producers.
Yep, a bull that's available now in Australia, a bull that's seen some use, a bull that we brought out in our autumn bull catalogue, and a bull that straight away got attention. So great to have him in the lineup, great to see where he'll go. Why don't we move on to the next bull, Ryan? And this is a bull that last year created a fair bit of interest, a young bull called Virginia Tech Statesman. You've seen the bull since. The bull's obviously bodied out, grown into quite a big bull. You're saying before that he was maybe a 6+ frame bull. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about how Statesman's coming along?
Yeah, so we're a little farther down the road now with Statesman, and there are some calves out there and calf reports. The calving ease seems to be very good. Calf vigor seems to be very good. Also, the eye appeal of those calves are very striking and easy to pick out. Just like we had kind of talked, this bull is going to be a bigger bull, a bull that will add some frame, some length and stretch to cattle if that's what you're looking for. But if you study this bull from an EPD standpoint, he's just really complete. He offers some calving ease, elite for growth, really good carcass, but also has really good maternal predictions as well. So he really ties in all the factors of everything all together. But then also he really outcrosses for us with our Select Sires lineup, especially our most popular bulls. He can be used on the Tahoes, the Growth Funds, and the Hometowns. So there's a lot of mating flexibility as well.
Yeah, I think initially what drew me to the bull was the pedigree. The top and the bottom of the bull. And then, since then the bull's obviously just got bigger and better. So really the first shipment we basically sold out on this bull, but really excited to see how this bull goes, and a bull that we've had a lot of inquiry on consistently. So it'd be great to now build up a bit of inventory and be able to, really get the bull out there.
Yeah, so I think we're going to shift gears just a little bit here, and we're going to talk about a couple of Confidence Plus sons that you guys have. And the first one, Dale, you're going to talk about an LT Converse.
Yep, so Converse was a bull that the tour group saw this time last year at Brent Thiel's. Just a super impressive bull in the flesh. There's a photo one of the guys took of all the guys in a line all taking a photo of a bull, and we put it up on social media, and all everyone said was, what bull are you taking a photo of? Because everyone was so fixated on this bull, and that was Converse. He is just, from front to back, he is thick, and yet he's got Carbonese, So he's moderate frame, but he is thick from front to back, super sound footed. Just so excited that we could bring this bull in. Sold every straw we brought in. And he's a bull that probably, he might be in a little bit of short demand. So if people want to use the bull, they need to jump into him pretty quick.
Yeah, a bull that kind of encompasses all of what LT's kind of known for, of phenotype, cows, quality.
Absolutely.
So, another Confidence Plus son that I think I'll talk about is Baldridge Gibson. I mean, a bull that's fairly similar from a type and kind standpoint. I mean, one that at Select Sires, we just love this bull when you see him. I mean, he's just loaded with muscle and shape and body. He's really cool to look at. He's got awesome feet, moves really well. So you'd love the phenotype of this bull. Then you also throw in the fact that, he goes back to the famous Y69. He's a Confidence Plus out of a profit out of Y69. So there's predictability there in the pedigree. But then also, if you look at his data, he puts together a really cool data package of, above average growth, really high maternal predictions, especially for feet, which correlates to his feet. But then if you look also, he also brings in some carcass quality. That he's a high marbling bull. So a bull that kind of checks every box along the way that we just think is really complete. He's been one of the most popular sires used in our spring season here in the States. And so just really looking forward to what Gibson can continue to do.
And the Y69 back home in Australia through Baldridge Compass, Baldridge Compass is just bred on and on and on, magnificent females, super sound in the feet, super udders. So, to bring a bull in like that has that link, I think is great. And, he certainly has eye appeal, he certainly pops out at you. So, we have seen him in country on Gibson, so really pleased to bring him in.
Yeah, and I think then the next bull is kind of maybe the one that we think is going to follow up kind of these bulls, of those balanced bulls that tie in a cow, EPDs, and phenotype in Jan Saluda.
Yep.
This is a bull we've talked about several times over the last year that just really complete bull. He's a Sit Stellar son out of a Discovery daughter, which the Discovery daughter at Jan's is also the dam of Jan Top Cut.
Yep.
So, a real proven cow here to back this up. But as we were looking for a stellar son, we were looking for one that offered a little more growth and a little more marbling than most stellars offer. Most people love the stellars for their foot quality and phenotype, but maybe fall a little short on growth and carcass. So Saluda brings that in. So you've got the same kind of foot quality phenotype, but you've got more carcass and more growth to go with it. Another piece to Saluda that's really cool is his hair shedding EPD. He ranks really well for hair shedding.
Yep.
This is a trait that continues to be more popular, especially in our more humid climates and arid climates where heat stress is a little more a factor.
Yeah,
So.
and something that our northern breeders will find really important, an EPD that we don't have back home, but I think something that more and more of our breeders back home are going to start to sit up and take notice of now that you guys have it in your system. So Saluda being top 1% is a great new add-on, I think, to that bull. So yeah.
I think the next bull you're going to talk about, Dale, and Just Do It. This is a bull that you actually acquired.
Yep, yeah, just a bull that we had on our radar for a while there. Everyone that inspected the bull, he took it, really liked his phenotype, his type. He took a fantastic photo. He's a really docile bull, really nice muscle pattern to the bull, really sound-footed. We were really excited that we managed to acquire this bull. We think he'll fit into a lot of different programs, a lot of heifer matings. I think he'll across the board. And interestingly, when we collected the bull, his very first collection at stud, he made close to 1,000 doses of super high fertile semen. So we think that this bull could really be that next big time heifer bull across a lot of commercial programs around the country. So really pleased to bring this bull in.
Good. The next bull I think I'm going to talk about is Sit's Essential. This is a bull that we're also excited about. Really love the phenotype of this bull. I think I've talked to you several times, Dale, as well about this bull. That just love the way this bull looks. I mean, for a calving ease bull, this bull has some muscle, some shape, some dimension, but he's also just really cool to look at. He's got that striking kind of presence, that right kind of head and neck to him as well, and a bull that we're going to see heavy use, I know, here in the States over the next few years, especially in heifer projects, because of the early reports on these calves they do come easy out of heifers. They have good growth and early growth and that really nice eye appeal and presence as well. So this is a bull that we're just learning a little bit about, but from a phenotype standpoint and a calving ease standpoint, we're super excited about what he has to offer.
Yeah, and a bull, I know, Ryan, that you sent a video to me on a few months back and said this is one of my favourite bulls that I saw, so a bull that hasn't quite arrived in Australia yet, but we're working on getting the semen over. So excited for him to come in as well.
Yeah. I think we'll shift gears a little bit to kind of conclude here. I'm going to talk about two bulls in Apex and Fireproof. They would have been the high-selling Lot 1 bulls from Gardeners, and the Apex would have been in the January sale, Fireproof in the April sale. Bulls that obviously offer that carcass quality that you come to expect from the Gardener program. But I think two bulls that do a lot of other things as well. Fireproof would be the Fireball Son. Really one of the most unique Fireball Sons in the database. He's one of the highest dollar C Fireball Sons that there is. He's one of the highest marbling bulls in the breed as well. Calving ease growth, it's kind of all there. He's been one of the most popular sought after bulls this spring to use, and we're really excited about him. But to shift gears to Apex is a dual threat son, maybe overshadowed a little from Fireproof from a popularity standpoint, but a bull that we just love the phenotype on this bull. This bull has some, if you just study his picture, you can see it. This bull has some true muscle, some true shapes, some true dimension. This bull has really good feet as well. And if you study him, he's just really balanced. He's more than just a carcass bull. He's one that also has a lot of those extra bells and whistle traits. You know, he's a high hair shedding bull as well. So a bull that could be used in those warm climates as well.
Yep, and a bull that, you know, probably, you know, with his sire dual threat that's been used heavily in Australia, that probably just has that little more, you know, structurally sound, a little bit more phenotype about him. So I think he's going to get used heavy as well as fireproof. So, you know, both bulls have Australian data. Both have come up really high on the Australian database. So we predict that we're going to see a fair bit of demand on both these bulls.
Yeah, well, I think that kind of concludes the bulls that we're going to talk about. We obviously could have spoke about a lot more bulls, but these kind of wanted to hit a few of the highlights, a few new bulls, and the ones that maybe had a little bit to update on. And so, Dale, thanks for having me be part of your evening, and we'll look forward to catching up again.
Yep, thanks again, Ryan. Greatly appreciated. Hope everybody enjoys the rest of the presentations for the Angus Australia Spring Bull Night, and thanks for tuning in.
Huge thank you to our semen companies for being involved in the 2023 Spring Bull Night, and thank you to our viewers for joining us. It's been great to showcase some proven bulls whose progeny are performing at sales across the country, and some new and exciting sires who no doubt we'll hear more of in the years to come. We hope you have found a bull or two suited to your breeding program for the upcoming joining. If you would like to contact the semen providers for more information on the sire showcase this evening, all their contact details are available through their online catalogue with the Angus Australia website. If you would like some assistance in how to find these bulls through an Angus Tech database search, Semen Select, or running them through the mating predictor, please reach out to the Angus Australia Extension team for assistance. If you haven't done so already, please click on the link below to complete a quick survey. This is so we can ensure the events we facilitate are beneficial and add value to your business. Thanks for joining us.